In this video, we're going to discuss physics calculations in terms of the two math problems that we're going to need to be able to solve in almost all physics calculations. So almost all calculations within this course, as well as when you get to college level chemistry, are going to fall into one of two categories. The first category is being able to solve an algebraic equation for an unknown variable. Another phrase that is used to describe this is simply rearranging equations, and you've had this in your algebra class. The second type is utilizing dimensional analysis. Dimensional analysis is a fancy word for changing units. Maybe you're starting in units of feet and you want to go to meters. Maybe you're in miles per hour and you want to go to feet per second. Maybe you're in units of minutes and you want to go to units of hours. Dimensional analysis is the fancy phrase for converting units, changing from one unit into another unit. So there's really only two primary math type of problems in physics. One is an algebra type, rearranging equations, an algebraic equation, and you're solving for an unknown variable. And then secondly, dimensional analysis, converting units. In this video, we're going to be focused on number one, solving an algebraic equation for an unknown variable. There are several steps in solving an algebraic equation or rearranging an equation. We're going to place these steps into our notebook. Some of you will be very familiar with solving an equation for an unknown variable, and some of you might need a little bit of a refresher. So this will serve as a refresher. So these are the steps for the type 1 type of problem. Solving an equation, an algebraic equation, rearranging an equation for an unknown variable, to solve for an unknown variable. The first step that we're going to do is we're going to identify the unknown variable. So whether that's an x or a y or a z, like in math class, or maybe it's speed or it's distance or it's time, you find out what the unknown variable is. Second, we need to ensure that that unknown variable that we're looking for is on top of the equation, and we're going to describe what that means to be on top of the equation. If the unknown variable is not on top of the equation, then we need to move the variable. We need to rearrange the equation so that the unknown variable is on top of the equation. Once the unknown variable is on top of the equation, we're going to move all other variables to the opposite side of the equation. So it doesn't matter left side or right side. Once you get that variable to the top of the equation, then you move everything else to the other side, and we're going to go through those steps on being able to do that. And then finally, step 4, we plug in the numbers. A lot of students want to start right away with plugging in numbers, and we're not going to do that. We're going to plug in the numbers with the units once we've solved the equation for the unknown variable.